the town of Orangeburg, South Carolina. In the last hours of the day, a campaign event showcasing Hillary Clinton.
Who am I supporting? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, she's more of a people person.
We need someone that can get in, that knows the system.
She learned from her husband and she was Secretary of State.
In 2008, this community turned away from Clinton. Although now she has the momentum, there's an outsider in the race again.
Bernie Sanders is nice in his own way, but give me Hillary any day.
I never heard of Bernie Sanders.
My political views, they kind of align with that of Bernie Sanders, so I'm kind of feeling the burn right now.
In this pro-Clinton crowd, we find Curtis Mack, patiently lining up with his young family.
Don't get me wrong, I like Hillary a lot. I think she resonates a lot with a lot of older folks, but I just think that his views and his just being genuine aligns with what I have for my family in the future, so I'm feeling the burn, so you kind of got me choking up here, so.
We will have launched Hillary Clinton to be the next president of these United States. And please present her.
I'm here because I know the road to the White House goes through Orangeburg.
Knowing her audience, Hillary Clinton wraps herself around Obama's record.
I do not think that President Obama gets the credit he deserves for digging us out of the ditch that the Republicans put us in the first place.
The biggest thing I didn't hear was about the black community. It's police brutality, things that matter to me and, like I said before, my family and the future of my family. So I didn't hear that.
An unscheduled appearance by Bernie Sanders, taking advantage of a crowd of Democrats already pumped for a campaign speech.
But as y'all can see, I'm definitely feeling the burn.
I am voting Bernie Sanders as a black man because his policy helps black boys.
Rapper Killer Mike introduces the senator with a rousing, poetic energy.
Our community has a fair and equal opportunity. I am voting Bernie Sanders. What are you going to do tomorrow? Thank you.
I'm Bernie Sanders. We are going to go to Washington and fight for justice. Fight for justice. So what does that mean? It means that in America today, people can make it on $7.25 an hour minimum wage. We got to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Tonight, it kind of solidified with me that I think I'm making the right choice in the candidate. Bernie Sanders for President 2016.
So we have a government that works.
Beyond tonight, Hillary Clinton goes on to win South Carolina and many states after that. Sanders could lose, but in some ways still defeat Clinton. While she's the candidate expected to win the nomination, Sanders is exposing surprising weaknesses in Clinton, flaws that will challenge her even more if she's in the presidential race to come.
Anybody who knows me, who thinks that they can influence me, name anything they've influenced me on. Just name one thing.
Please welcome former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
In early primaries where trust is a factor, Clinton polls way behind Bernie Sanders. With an electorate disillusioned with traditional politics, Sanders makes Clinton seem almost fragile in this area.
You made 3 speeches for Goldman Sachs. You were paid $675,000.
And then there's those speaking engagements, the ones with the Wall Street firm Goldman Sachs, that working-class Americans have trouble with.
But did you have to be paid $675,000?
Well, I don't know. That's what they offered. So.
That's what they offered? The answer rings hollow. Clinton seems for a moment off balance, struggles to justify the payments. Given her last run for the nomination, she and her team had 8 years to work on the problem of believability and frame a better answer. In fact, a leaked memo from Obama's 2008 campaign offers an interesting peek inside a strategy to beat Hillary Clinton, targeting what they decide are her biggest weaknesses. She is driven by politics, not conviction. A tendency towards secrecy and non-disclosure.
What's interesting is that this memo was written in 2008, and Clinton since then has done certain things and made certain choices that she may feel are perfectly justifiable, but don't really address the trust issue.
Amy Davidson follows American politics for New Yorker magazine. She thinks the Obama team seized on vulnerabilities that still exist. Now it's about the paid speeches and a fear Clinton is owned by special interests.
The way Sanders has put it, and the way I think a lot of people put it, is Goldman Sachs isn't dumb. Maybe they're buying entertainment with their money, but there is a question of what they thought they were buying. She said, yeah, they were buying a chance to hear interesting things I had to say, and maybe to have truth spoken to them. Okay, maybe that's it. But what did they think they were buying, even if she wasn't delivering it?
So, just to be clear, that's not something you regret, those 3 speeches,
No,
that money?
I don't, because I don't feel that I paid any price for it, and I am very clear about what I will do, and they're on notice.
We spoke with Hillary Clinton while on her last book tour before making her decision to run. We could see debating that decision weighed on her. In particular, the push from women to seize that moment.
I'm incredibly touched by it and feel responsible because of it. And I know that it's important that we break that highest and hardest glass ceiling.
The path to perhaps making history started here, Wellesley, the all-women's college just outside Boston. Clinton was active in student politics, president of the Young Republicans her freshman year, before becoming disillusioned with that party. Even before graduating Wellesley in 1969, Clinton was famous. She gave her graduating year's commencement speech, challenging the guest speaker, Senator Ted Brooke, for lecturing students about protest, telling him he was out of touch.
She got up there following a conservative Republican who had somewhat dissed her generation and challenged him, which wasn't done in the 1960s.
Author and biographer Gail Sheehy believes, even battered by the reality of politics, Clinton the idealist is still there.
She was also a 22-year-old woman, which she is no longer. She has a lot of scars. She has a lot of experience today. She's in a whole different place, but she's in a place where she actually can make things happen and has proven that she can do so. So it would be pretty funny if she suddenly reverted to that 22-year-old woman. But you know that that person is still in there. She just is limited by what she knows can get done.
You do certainly look up to someone else like Hillary Clinton, who, especially if you went to Wellesley, you have this, she is an institution here in a certain sense. I mean, you have this feeling that you are following in this line of incredible women.
I wasn't necessarily going to do another order, but
Hannah Lindo, president of the student group supporting Clinton. Hannah is a lot like her, keen, high-achieving. That Hillary Clinton might make history is a thrilling prospect for Hannah.
It's emotional to me. I think that seeing a woman in the White House would do a lot for young girls in this country and frankly in this world. That is not my only reason for voting for her. Hillary Clinton has much more to offer than just her gender. She's an incredibly accomplished, amazing candidate who also happens to be a woman.
I bring you Madeleine Albright!
Which brings us to another polarizing moment for Clinton. With the support of another Wellesley College graduate and former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright at a campaign event,
Thank you so much.
They talk about the importance of electing a woman to the country's highest office.
And just remember, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help each other.
Clinton laughed, but for someone who's been in the game as long as she has, she must have known the impact those words would have. It set off a generational clash, younger women resenting it, and what they felt was an obligation to support Clinton based on gender.
They did scold us, kind of like, and I think it's kind of like, a mother, seeing her teenage daughter and being like, she doesn't understand. I just wish I could make her understand. Yeah.
Michelle Liu and a growing crew of Wellesley students brainstorm ideas for Sanders' campaign.
Like, Adrian and I, what we could do is
Michelle and many students here see themselves as feminists, but it doesn't mean voting for the woman candidate in any equation. Given the choice, Sanders simply appeals to their issues.
The kind of person you elect can really set, precedent for can really change history and change the future that you're going to be in, and you want to make sure it's the right one.
Earlier tonight, we played Senator Sanders, your ad, and asked him a question.
In a recent town hall, Clinton is made to react to a stirring ad from the Sanders campaign.
Here's the senator's ad.
In a way, asking her to account for the enthusiasm gap in her own campaign.
I think that's great. I think that's fabulous. I loved it. And now, look. You campaign in poetry, you govern in prose.
Clinton's implication? Sanders' campaign ideas sound poetic, but will never fly in the real world of governing. She offers herself as capable, experienced, getting things done. But without an emotional message, is competence enough to carry a candidate to the White House?
But I believe that I'm the better person to be the Democratic nominee and to be the president and commander-in-chief of the country because...
As a great politician, you kind of need to do both. You need to connect with people in that poetic way, talk to their aspirations, to their sense that you as a politician embody something that they think is beautiful. And that poetry is something that she's struggled so hard to find. Sometimes she does find it.
My parents, they have a rule of deportation. I'm scared for them because how the deportation. I'm scared that they're going to deport me.
Here, come here, baby.
Okay.
I'm going to do everything I can so you don't have to be scared. And you don't have to worry about what happens to your dad or somebody else in your family. I feel really, really strongly that you're being very brave.
People really found that to be a very striking moment because she doesn't often have those. Hillary Clinton is in a difficult position in terms of really talking about her inner life because it's so complicated. It's so tied up in her husband's presidency and all of the traumas with that, with the exposure of his infidelity. So people are often seeking something from her that she, with great justification, says that she deserves to keep private.
Stepping into the light of a presidential race, demands on Clinton will only grow. Expectation to speak with more heart, more scrutiny of past decisions, to make history as a woman and take a younger generation with her. Not the easiest path to power, but if she gets there, a better candidate for it.